Alright everyone, what's really funny is watching some erudite like Silver Spooner, like a trust fund upper middle class whiny titty baby, expose themselves as the whiny titty babies that they are. So when Malinowski there, I think his first name was Tom Malinowski, he came out the other day and he was talking about illegals, and this is a Democrat, a liberal Democrat, and he's like, well, we need illegal immigrants to mow our beautiful lawns. It's like, how much more fucking stereotypically white Democrat can you possibly get? And this is exactly how the Democrats have thought this entire time. The idea of illegal immigration to them, it's not a moral issue. It's couched in moral terms. They say, well, think of the children. No. They don't fucking give a shit about the children. Unless those children, they can pay them 5 cents to do work that normally they have to pay $1 for. Then they like, bringing in illegal children. They don't care about them suffering in Mexico. They want them to suffer here. It's funny because basically, like, it's an extension of the slave debate after a fashion. It's sort of like wage slavery has taken over. So it's still, like, basically a form of servitude. It's just not legally enshrined. You don't have to work. You just starve in the street or something. By the way, far leftists have a solution for you, but it doesn't work because leftism is responsible for the fucking problem. It's really funny how that works. You create problems and then you sell people snake oil. It's like giving a town dysentery and then peddling your dysentery pills back in the 19th century. That's basically what socialism amounts to. Look at Bernie Sanders. He doesn't want to talk about taxes to anyone between the working and upper middle class. That's for a fucking reason. Malinowski, though, is showing us exactly what the Democrats actually think about, those other people across the border or across the neighborhood in many cases. They're not in my backyard, erudite, gated community dwellers. These are the sort of people that engineer all of these social movements. It's like the movement, build wind farms, but don't build them near me. Don't build the wind farms near my ridge. We need prison reform. We need more low income housing, but don't put it near my property. We need more welfare, but don't take my tax money for it. I need a sane tax plan. No, someone richer than me should pay for it. That's basically what they do. We need more juvenile detention facilities that are low security and people inpatient or something. But don't put it in my neighborhood. My gated community, we need more nuclear power, but not near my gated community. It scares me. We need more illegals, but don't resettle them in my neighborhood. That's why all of these sanctuary cities got so pissed off when Trump threatened to bus and train in illegals from the border as soon as their 20-day detention period is up, right to the sanctuary cities and states. Oh, they were hopping mad about that. Oh my God, the price value of my property will go down. My gated community will be overrun by people from other countries whose language I don't speak. That's basically how Tom Malinowski resembles to me. The Democrats have been doing this for a long time. There was a time many, many years ago when I thought that the liberals actually gave a damn, like early Obama era, because I looked at the shit that the Bush administration was doing, and can you fault millennials for rejecting that shit and saying, okay, there's got to be something better? And so we got hoodwinked into thinking, oh, football team mentality, us versus them, red and blue, left and right. The Republicans are being evil, so these Democrats, they must, they actually care, like they're going to take care of these problems. It never happened. No, it never happened at all. No, they make problems and then they sell you a fake cure. It's just like the Patriot Act being a fake cure for a fake problem. Oh my God. People flew planes into buildings, so the solution to that is not anything sensible. It's we must censor things here. We got to go through your library records. You might be looking up the Anarchist Cookbook and stuff like that. Oh my God, there's cyberbullying online. Quick, websites need to develop their TOS so that people can't even have a debate. Oh my God, there's an extremist who claims that Gab radicalized them. We need to crack down on that alt-tech stuff. Oh my God, somebody had a YouTube channel and then went off and shot YouTube HQ. We gotta change our terms of services, dude. Real big problem. One fucking person. It's funny because if you're just an evil scumfuck, you as one person can change the world, but one good person doing activism, trying to promote free speech or people being able to be left alone and live their lives in peace and plenty and prosperity, they don't get taken seriously for jack shit by these morons. And I'm not even black-pilled and I'm saying that, so fucking keep in mind when Nick Fuentes weighs in on shit like this. The Malinowski stuff is hilarious to me, though, because here you've got one of these upper-middle-class, cap-tooth fucking hairpiece Democrats that look like he could be working a desk at CNN any given time and probably will have to when he gets kicked out by his constituents. He'll get dragged in as an MSNBC consultant, or he'll get a slot on Vox Media or something after they whitewash what he did a little bit. And he comes out and says, wow, we need illegals. Yeah, they gotta mow our lawns. Basically, it's funny because this isn't... Think of it this way. This is the interesting part. For years you heard, well, illegals do the jobs Americans don't want to do. So basically you want to bring these people in to be like brute laborers and live in shitty conditions. So you want to use them as labor force, basically. So you don't care about the kids. You don't care about getting ahead, American dream, and apple pie. No, you never cared about that. It was you want them to pick apples and asparagus and shit. That was always the reason. But when you said it that way, it sounded PC, and it was sort of kosher for them, and nobody had a big problem with it. Malinowski's not saying anything differently from what the liberals have been saying for arguably 30 years on the subject. They've been saying the same fucking shit since the early 90s. Oh, we need them to do the jobs that Americans won't do. Well, maybe if those jobs were able to pay at a fair market rate in an economy that wasn't screwed, blued, and tattooed by interventionism, maybe somebody would be willing to pick apples because it could potentially be profitable. Maybe you wouldn't need somebody to come in illegally. By the way, illegals, I thought you didn't want them to be, I thought you wanted E-Verify to solve the problem. Man, I thought that some of these neoliberals wanted E-Verify to prevent that from happening. So that's out the window too now. So you don't want a border wall. You don't want to deport anyone. You don't want to fingerprint anyone. You don't want E-Verify. You don't want anything. You don't want a solution to the problem. You just want your lawn mowed. What wonderful people. You're a very moral Christian individual. You believe that. And it's funny to see the Democrats trying to hide behind Jesus now too. They're doing what the Republicans did in the 80s and 90s. Oh, we need to suppress heavy metal because Jesus. Oh my God, we need more illegal migrant labor because Jesus. Jesus would want us to take in these people. You know, fuck Jesus. Who cares what Jesus thinks? Jesus is dead. 2,000 fucking years ago. Jesus isn't the president of the United States, never set foot on this continent unless you happen to believe in Mormonism. The fuck should we be governing based on a bunch of bullshit superstitions? Jesus would care what you did with your migrant policies. No, I don't think that he would. I think that if there were a Jesus, let's say that I'm putting on my Christian hat now. I'm a religious Christian. And Jesus loves everyone, and think of the children, and you know, happy as a lamb, frolicking in the meadows and all that bullshit. I think Jesus would be pissed off at the fact that we fucked over other countries in the first place a lot more than wanting to defend our own borders. I think that he would want us to leave other people alone, and we maintain, and they maintain, everyone leaves each other alone. And try to, maybe you should try helping the poor and the homeless and the veterans and shit in this country before you start trying to help millions of people from another country that aren't even legally here. It's no, like, I don't have any hate of immigrants or anything like that. Like, person I'm married to is Dutch. So there's a little bit of a process there. But, having a legal process as opposed to just, hey, we're going to erase the borders because who fucking gives a shit anymore, decadence and smoke weed, I don't see that as immoral. The idea that Jesus would care about U.S. domestic policy is pretty funny. The Republicans made that argument for 1,000 years and never made sense. Jesus would want more nukes because we got to kill those godless atheistic commies over there. Jesus would want a lower corporate tax rate. It's just the American way. Jesus wants you to consume Coca-Cola. He really cares about this. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit, and a bunch of fucking morons believe it too. That's about all. Peace out.